Leonardo da Vinci. He copied great masters, dissected corpses, and watched birds fly just to learn. He wasn't born a genius, he made himself one. Albert Einstein? He didn't even speak fluently until he was 9. He was mocked by teachers, doubted by peers, and told he'd never amount to anything. But he questioned everything, including authority, and kept pushing despite constant failure. Temple Grandin transformed the meat industry, not despite her autism, but because of it. She saw the world differently. Where others saw chaos, she saw systems. 3 wildly different people. One unbreakable thread connects them all: mastery. And in the words of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, we are shaped and fashioned by what we love. This is the journey into mastery, how it works, what it demands, and why it's possible for anyone willing to follow the path. What is mastery? Mastery is not a gift. It's not talent. It's not genius. It is a process, a journey, a mindset. As Robert Greene writes, mastery is not a function of genius or talent. It is a function of time and intense focus applied to a particular field of knowledge. The idea of mastery goes beyond basic success. It's not just doing your job well. It's becoming so good they can't ignore you. It's the ability to create, to innovate, to operate at the highest level of human capability. Throughout history, masters have existed in every domain: art, science, politics, sports, business. What separates them is not just intelligence or luck. It's something deeper, something earned. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution, said Aristotle. Mastery is the reward for staying on the path long after others have quit. It's what you gain after years of apprenticeship, struggle, and focused experimentation. Phase 1. Discovering your life's task. Every master begins the same way. They discover something they can't stop thinking about, something that grabs their curiosity and won't let go. Robert Greene calls this your life's task, the pursuit that aligns with your deepest interests. Leonardo da Vinci was born out of wedlock and denied access to a classical education. So he taught himself. He was obsessed with how things worked. Muscles, light, flying machines. He once said, "Learning never exhausts the mind." Einstein, too, felt pulled toward ideas that defied conventional logic. As a boy, he became fixated on invisible forces like magnetism and time. While working in a patent office, he quietly crafted the theories that would change physics forever. Temple Grandin was fascinated by animals from a young age. Though many dismissed her because of her autism, her intense focus allowed her to study cattle behavior with precision no one else could match. Her unique brain wasn't a limitation. It was her superpower. This stage is about listening to that inner voice, the thing that keeps you up at night and wakes you up in the morning. It might not be clear at first, but it's always there, whispering, "This is who you are." The 2 most important days in your life, said Mark Twain, are the day you are born and the day you find out why. The apprenticeship phase. Once you've found your calling, the hard work begins. Greene calls this the apprenticeship phase, a period of deep learning, skill acquisition, and humility. Leonardo da Vinci apprenticed under Andrea del Verrocchio, a master painter and sculptor. He cleaned brushes, mixed paints, and studied obsessively. Instead of trying to be original too soon, he copied again and again until the fundamentals became second nature. Einstein spent years in intellectual isolation. He read, pondered, and wrote, often without recognition. But he embraced this obscurity, using it as a shield to develop his revolutionary ideas in peace. As he later said, "It's not that I am so smart, It's just that I stay with problems longer. Temple Grandin, meanwhile, took every opportunity to learn from the real world. She visited slaughterhouses, observed cattle, and talked to ranchers. She got her hands dirty, and it was through this practical, hands-on learning that her insights took shape. The apprenticeship phase is slow, it's frustrating, it demands patience, and it humbles you, but it also gives you the tools that make mastery possible. As Greene writes, "The future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative ways." In a world obsessed with speed and shortcuts, the apprentice slows down and goes deep. Because true expertise doesn't come from scrolling, swiping, or watching. It comes from doing. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn, said Benjamin Franklin. The creative active phase. After years of learning, something changes. You stop imitating. You start creating. This is the creative active phase, where experience transforms into intuition. The rules you've studied become second nature, and you start bending them. Da Vinci, after mastering the techniques of his mentors, began inventing. His notebooks filled with designs centuries ahead of his time. Helicopters, diving suits, anatomy sketches. He wasn't just a painter anymore. He was a scientist, an inventor, a visionary. Einstein, too, began to defy the accepted norms of physics. By imagining himself riding on a beam of light, he conceived the theory of relativity, something that had never been done before. He had mastered the basics and now spoke the language of the universe itself. Temple Grandin innovated humane livestock facilities that respected animal behavior. She designed curved chutes and quiet zones based on how cattle see and feel. Her ideas were not just theoretical, they worked. They saved lives. They reshaped an industry. In this phase, you start producing work that is unmistakably yours. The work is not just technically sound, it has voice, style, and originality. To achieve great things, two things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time, said Leonard Bernstein. The creative active phase is the transition from student to innovator, from follower to leader, the mastery phase. And then, mastery. It doesn't come with a diploma. It doesn't arrive on a specific date. Mastery reveals itself in moments, when you act on instinct, and it turns out right. When your knowledge flows through you without effort. When your work changes the world around you. Leonardo, Einstein, Grandin, they each reached a point where their ideas shaped reality. Not by force, but by understanding. Greene writes, "At this phase, you are not only intuitive but strategic and flexible. You see the whole, and you can anticipate trends and problems before they arise." Masters are calm. Not because life is easy, but because they've faced the struggle and absorbed its lessons. "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master," said Plato. Temple Grandin has said, "I am different, not less." Her mastery proved that difference is not a barrier, it's a bridge to innovation. Einstein believed, the only source of knowledge is experience. He saw mastery not as the end, but as the beginning of deeper questions. Leonardo wrote, "Learning never exhausts the mind." Even in his final years, he was still sketching, still studying, still growing. Mastery is not perfection. It's evolution. Mastery isn't for the chosen few. It's for those who choose the long path. In a world addicted to speed, mastery rewards patience. In a world chasing hacks, mastery demands discipline. In a world of noise, mastery speaks with quiet power. Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, Temple Grandin. They didn't follow a map. They followed their curiosity. They failed, they learned, and they kept moving forward. And so can you. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit, said Aristotle. So begin. Be an apprentice. Fall in love with the process. And one day, sooner than you think, you will rise, not as a genius, not as a prodigy, but as a master. Please subscribe to my channel